Everybody, Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And hey, it's Wednesday here on the show. You know what that means? Well, we got NXT from last night to talk about. We had two concerts last night. A Joe Hendry concert and a Trick Williams rap performance. Saw some folks on the board here that weren't all high on Trick's performance. I thought he did a fine job. I thought he did a good job. Thought the NXT show was much better than last week. Much, much better. We've also got Dynamite coming up tonight, which is the go-home show for the pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, which is coming up this weekend. And that means tonight, hopefully, we're going to find out exactly who is on these teams for Anarchy in the Arena. We just know it's Jon Moxley's team against Swerve Strickland's team. It appears Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks will be on one team, Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Swerve on the other. And then probably adding Kenny Omega, and I think the women are going to be involved. And we'll find out which other ones they add as well. So we'll talk about that here today. Lineups for this crazy weekend upcoming. And we've also got updates on how you can order and not order Double or Nothing. We'll talk about Roman Reigns getting a film role. Mercedes Moné talks Athena. We got some ratings notes. And, of course, the full NXT TV report. I believe we'll be joined today by Filthy Tom Lawlor here on this Wednesday show. If you've not checked it out already, Filthy and I interviewed Kurt Angle. The audio is up at WrestlingObserver.com in the Figure 4 Daily RSS feed as well, and you can check that out. Very fun interview. And you can contact us today, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline at gmail.com. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Not today, we're not. We got filthy Tom Lawlor joining us here today. We got a lot to get into on this program. I should mention that it's Wednesday, and as I always say, you know what that means. What that means is at 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern, we have a live After Dark on Sports Byline. You can also listen to it if you're watching here on the YouTube channel, f4wonline.com/YouTube. You can listen to it on Twitch, twitch.tv/f4w video. Jason Offutt will be our guest today. He's an author, and he's written a number of books. And one of them, if you've got that Amazon gimmick, what's it called, where you can just get any of these certain books for free and then you return them?
Amazon Kindle Unlimited.
Kindle Unlimited, yes. He's got a book out that I just checked out yesterday, Chasing American Monsters. And the way the book works is you can whatever state you live in, there's a chapter on it. So, Tom's in Nevada. And
what do we got here?
Let's see what we got. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them there.
The Winnemucca.
Tahoe Tessie, which is
Tahoe Tessie.
The Jar Bridge Monster, a pterosaur. The Lovelock Skull, which is very odd. Gargantuan Gliders. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about monsters today. 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern, on Sports here and Sports Byline USA. Tom, how you feeling after getting cracked yesterday?
Well, I'd like to repeat a bit of news I just saw on Twitter.
Yeah.
A match update for this Saturday at Action Dean 2. Unfortunately, Tom Lawlor will not be able to wrestle this weekend, but will now accompany Josh Woods as he faces off with J.D. Drake with Anthony Henry.
Really?
In Glendale, Arizona.
He went from being your opponent to you're now cornering him?
That's right. Outside the Desert Diamond Arena. Well, Josh Woods and I have
trust in you.
Josh Woods and I have a long history. I wrestled at the University of Central Florida from 2001 to 2005. He came years later, basically followed in my footsteps, was very successful amateur. We're both, good-looking young guys. And we're set to face off. But as you've mentioned on this very program, I mean, I can't stand up straight. I can't move.
No, it's rough.
I cannot engage in locomotion. So I have decided that for the time being, it's better that I not wrestle until I figure out exactly.
I think it's a good role for you is to be the Mr. Wrestling 2 to his Mr. Wrestling 3, or I guess it would be Mr. Wrestling to Mr. Wrestling 2. You're the old grizzled mentor to this young buck, and then eventually you can he'll invariably turn on you. And then the Rock and Roll Express is going to break into your car and steal all your gear and win some title that you should have held. But anyway, You went and got cracked yesterday. Do you feel any better?
Well, I don't feel worse.
Well, that's good. But do you feel any better?
Better? Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, that's
good.
Going
to go back on Friday, get some more treatment, and I guess hopefully this indefinite hiatus is not too long.
Well, hopefully. I mean, he wants you coming back quite a few times, dude. You must be really, really out. I mean, sometimes I'll go in and he'll tell me to come back the next week if I'm like really out. But saying, you might need like a dozen or something like that. You're really crooked, bro.
Thanks. Not am I as crooked as Stax Lorenzo?
You're not as crooked as that guy. Did you actually watch NXT?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Is it not my duty?
Well, I always watch all of the shows, so, whatever you have time to get in, you can get in. There's no real requirements except to just, be a voice on this program. You know that. Well, we do have Dynamite tonight. We'll get to NXT in a little while. There is an all-star trios match. Jon Moxley, the Young Bucks, against Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Swerve Strickland. And presumably, before or after that match, they're going to alert us as to what the actual full teams are for Anarchy in the Arena coming up on Sunday at the pay-per-view. We got Mina Shirakawa versus Julia Hart with Tony Storm on commentary. It's Tony versus Mina at the pay-per-view. MJF will allegedly sign his contract with the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, I am. I just don't know which way it's going to go, but I don't think it's going to end well for old MJF and the Hurt Syndicate being together.
You don't think enough is enough and it's time for a change?
I think we're going to see a change, brother. Mercedes Moné, Jamie Hayter will go face-to-face, and Hangman Page and Will Ospreay will also go face-to-face. No back-to-back encounters in this deal.
Or front-to-back.
Yeah, no front-to-back. That'd be
inverted, north-south.
Nothing like that.
No single-leg X-guard.
So a lot of people have been asking about how to get the pay-per-view. And it is, in fact, true. If you live in the U.S., Canada, or Puerto Rico, you can no longer get the pay-per-views on Triller. It's just no longer an option. If you live outside the U.S., Canada, or Puerto Rico, anywhere else worldwide, you can order on Triller. And I mean, maybe I ordered on Triller here and there. But, a lot of people, I think the issue, and I could be wrong about this, I'm sure I'll be corrected quickly. I believe the issue is that if you order on Triller, you pretty much get to keep the pay-per-view. So if you order on Triller, your library, you keep all the shows that you purchased. If you order on, for example, YouTube, I think you get it for like 30 days, and then it's gone into the ether. And, for me, I watch a show once and never again, so I just want whatever one is going to be easiest, cheapest, and the best quality. And for me, I've always, of late at least, since I got rid of that BR Live, I hated that thing. I've used YouTube. I just order off YouTube. It's quick, easy, looks great. I watch it, and I'm done with it. And if for some reason I got to go back, I can go back. But Triller appears to be history for whatever reason, and that's the story there. You can order it on Prime Video, payperview.com, YouTube, cable and satellite, and Fubo if you are here in the U.S.
No viewer's choice?
Apparently viewer's choice. I actually know what that might still exist. Because there is still pay-per-view. I don't know what the cable companies are because I haven't had cable in God only knows how long.
Spice Network?
Yeah, I don't know if they have Spice anymore either. I got that YouTube TV. They don't have any scrambled channels. It's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, come on.
Everything's
unscrambled. Do you really need them at this point?
They don't have any of those.
There's hamsters running around that can give you everything you need.
Those test patterns. They don't have any of those on YouTube TV. They don't have that snow that you go to sleep to. It's kind of weird how the world has changed. But anyway, that's how you can order it. And as of yesterday afternoon, it was after this show ended, the Collision, the Mystery Collision, is now up on Max.
Okay. So how did my Pirates have the full version Saturday night? Where did it air? Where did this full version come from?
It must have come from, is it Fight? I think the
which is Triller.
Well, Fight overseas, so they would have got it from the overseas feed, and then provided it to the Pirates, I believe. Now, why the Pirates didn't provide it to Tony Khan and WBD, I can't explain that one. But it is now up, and I'll go check right now. I don't even know if it's a full version. I mean, bro, if I haven't watched it by now, there's too much stuff. I ain't never gonna watch this Collision.
Sons of Anarchy or Sons of Texas match, 5 stars.
Was it good? How was it actually?
I didn't watch it.
You're an idiot. So why'd you say it was 5 stars then?
Just keeping the gig going.
What gig?
I said it Monday.
Okay, 1 hour and 47 minutes.
Sounds like the full show to me.
That's the full show. That would be the full show plus overrun minus commercials. Hour and 47 minutes. So there you go. If you want to check it out on hour 47.
The soon-to-be HBO Max.
Why are they all weird? Like, actually, I have to skip through commercials, so they just have an hour 47 up there. Can anyone explain how the Max app works? Because I don't know. Because some of these shows are like 2 hours and 2 minutes. hour and 49 minutes, hour and 52. So what exactly is it? Do they cut stuff off the show?
Overrun.
No, because that's still an out. No, that's not the answer, Dom. I'll figure this out after the break. Observer Live. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom Lawlor. Also, my God, the chat. I can't even look at it. Everyone's talking about, you started this, Cinemax and Emmanuel in space, and this guy says he's got a porn addiction. Like, what happened to our chat here?
Excuse me?
That's what he said. Golly. Let's talk some wrestling, everybody. By the way, no one has figured out the answer to this weird runtime of these shows on Max, which apparently has been rebranded to HBO Max. wasn't HBO, and then there was HBO Max, and then they dropped the HBO, and it was just Max. Now it's HBO Max again. I always love these rebrandings, because it's like, does this really make any difference? Like, if you lost 75,000 subscribers this quarter, by putting HBO back in, are we really like...
It's like a few years ago in WWE when guys would get their first names back, then they lose them again. That's what's happening here.
All right, Funk Monk here claims the commercials are cut out, and that's why it's got that. That's why it's timed like that. But I don't think he's right. I'm looking at it right now. Maybe there are no commercials. Which, if that's the case, begs the question, why in the heck is the show that long?
Are they adding stuff to the show? Post-show? They're adding segments?
You know, the one thing I have
Sneaking
noticed...
them in?
I mean, I've noticed this for years and years and years. Yeah, exactly. There are only 13 minutes of commercials. Like, it's just... I don't get it. I do know when watching the shows live... I don't know if it's just because WWE is bigger and more popular and has more advertisers, but they got way more commercial minutes than AEW does. Your average WWE commercial break is like 3.5 to 4 minutes long, and I mean literally in a I guess it's not 2 hours anymore, but when SmackDown was 2 hours, I mean the like without commercials the show was like 1 hour and 20 minutes long. And if you watch like AEW, the show, the actual run, you know, the non-commercial time are, I mean, there's way more content on a Dynamite show because they have far fewer commercials than WWE does.
Brian, today
Yes.
I watched NXT on the CW app on my phone because I was taking a bath. And in between every segment, they have 2.5 minute long commercial breaks when you're watching on the app. Brutal.
Yes.
It was killing me.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of that mystery show, the Collision show, which we only saw, I guess, 1 hour and 18 minutes of, 398,000 viewers. The best show since April 26th, which shouldn't count because it followed a playoff game. However, it did a .08 in 18 to 49, so it was down 12% from last week. So good viewership, but old people were viewing it. And I was, you know what I was really hoping was, so the show went off the air. It just like stopped like 1 hour and 18 minutes in. And Black Adam, I guess, was the movie that just started playing.
Yes.
And everyone's like, what the heck's going on? So, you know, like in the old days when we were kids, we were talking about this. It wouldn't have gone to a movie. It would have gone like a test pattern. And I was hoping that like it hadn't gone to a movie and we could see, or even actually, you know, because all the quarters I saw, the quarters all ended when Collision ended. I want to see the quarters after Collision ended because I want to see if it starts going up as more and more people are like, what's going on here? Is it coming back? They're like waiting.
And then The Rock shows up.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I was watching AEW.
Because in the old days, when they used to have like the last show of the night would end, and then the test pattern would appear on the screen. Like the test patterns did good numbers because, you know, people would fall asleep or whatever, and they'd leave the TV on and, you know, over the course of time. So, you know, sometimes a show that was very, very poor, a test pattern would actually do a better number than the show. So anyway. Then we had the Raw, and you know I don't know about this Raw thing. It's just kind of weird. So they listed 5.1 million viewer hours, 2.7 million global viewers, and then Dave has like a formula that involves math, and he came up with 1.156 million viewers. And 983,000 same-day viewers. Meaning, if this were on cable, the show would have done under 1 million viewers. And I guess, you know, maybe it's possible. I don't know how Netflix figures all this, and I don't know. It just... When I look at like WWE pay-per-views and WWE ticket sales and WWE attendance and WWE merchandise sales, just business. If you look at the business WWE is doing, I just find it very hard to believe that Raw is regularly doing like 1 million viewers. It feels like something is wrong with the way all of this is being. But whatever, that's the number that Dave came up with. 983,000 viewers watched on the same day, which just seems inconceivable. But whatever.
Seems low to me.
Got a couple of other notes here. Mercedes Monet wants to see more of Athena on AEW television. Join the club, Mercedes. She said she loved the match with Athena. I've never experienced anyone like her in the ring. She's been doing it for so long. I was watching her before I even signed with WWE. I want to see her on AEW television more. Puts her over huge. And where is Athena, by the way? Like, they did that big feud, and then she's another one. Gone.
I don't think she's wrestled since. I don't think she's been on ROH since, although it's only been a few weeks. And they've been doing these double tapings recently, and that, could leave less spots for people.
Well,
Maybe she wasn't even at the shows.
We got another one tonight. I mean,
I didn't see her last week backstage when I was there, so.
So we got a double taping. So tonight is Dynamite. And then they're immediately going to tape Collision. And all we know about Collision thus far is it's Paragon versus Grizzled Young Vets. So that Collision is going to air Thursday. So my plan to watch TNA on Thursday, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But we got Collision on Thursday. And then also Impact on Thursday with Joe Hendry and Elijah versus Moose and Brian Myers. AJ Francis and Casey Navarro versus Santana and Sami Callihan. Mr. Stone and Santino have an in-ring debate.
Hopefully it'll be as good as Billy Madison's debate.
And Mustafa Ali faces Ace Austin, who is great, by the way. That Ace Austin, I mean, they're both great. But then we got Collision and Impact Thursday.
Well, Brian, also Thursday, UFC, Road to UFC Shanghai, episode 1 and 2. You can wake up at 4 a.m. Pacific and start watching
not
it.
happening is that.
Oh.
Friday, we got Under Siege for TNA. Joe Hendry and Elijah versus Trick and Frankie Kazarian. Masha Slamovich against Victoria Crawford, the former Alicia Fox. Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth against Matt Hardy and Leon Slater because Jeff can't get over the border. Eddie Edwards and Cody Deaner with a contract for Cody Deaner on the line. Steve Macklin versus Matt Cardone International title. Ash and Heather by Elegance versus Jody Threat and Danny Luna for the Knockouts title. Mike Santana, AJ Francis, and Tessa and Ariana Grace. Tessa will have Mr. Stone in her corner. Ariana will have her father, Santino, in her corner. Friday is SmackDown. Street Profits versus Fraxium for the tag titles. Charlotte, Julia, and Zelina in a Money in the Bank qualifier. And LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Shinsuke Nakamura in a qualifier.
Okay. I could see Nakamura losing. All right, he's taking the pinfall on that one. Who's losing in that women's match?
Zelina.
She's a champion.
Doesn't matter.
Of some sort.
We'll set something up out of it or something. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they'll do a DQ. They can do a screw job.
They can't. It's a three-way.
Maybe they'll do a...
They've had
Who knows, dude?
Didn't Lyra Valkyria just interfere repeatedly in that three-way match?
Well, yeah, she did. Saturday night's main event is Saturday night. The main event, Jey Uso, Logan Paul. We got John Cena Truth non-title. We got Drew and Damian in a cage. And we got Punk and Sammy versus Seth and Braun Breaker. What?
It's just more stuff on top of more stuff.
Yeah.
Head to head.
Brother.
With live on the ROH YouTube, Action Dean.
Brother.
2.
Sunday, NXT Battleground. And Double or Nothing. Which actually, I think they're airing head-to-head. Right? Or when is Double or Nothing earlier that day? What are they doing? I got to figure this out during the break.
Face-to-face.
I'm so lost. Back in a moment, Observer Live. We did, in fact, by popular demand, watch Ready to Rumble.
The champion is some fat loser.
Yeah, he's a completely talentless, no athletic ability, can't wrestle, broke bum that walked out on his wife and kid.
But he was
he's
over.
The world champion.
He
and
was.
In the movie, the
but that's a microcosm of wrestling, sadly.
Yes.
He feels so bad about drinking this entire slushie that cost $1.26, and he sticks his finger in his asshole, and walks up to the clerk.
Lancey
and
Lance is dying. How could the movie be so bad?
I'm not going to fault the man for that, of all the things in the movie.
I thought for
okay?
sure you were going to say you'd done this before.
There's a reason I'm not going to fault the man for that.
I just think with all the porta potties and farting in this, that I think Vince McMahon was a secret producer on this film. Had to have been.
So then we get the Shermanator. He's played a WCW arcade game. He uses some internet sleuthing to find the personal information of Jimmy King.
He's searching the internet. Gonna find out anything on here. This movie was so antiquated. Every Nitro Girl is in a Nitro Girl outfit, except for this girl. They had her
want
dance in something
to stand
totally
out,
different.
Brian, like the captain.
So we're so stupid. I got it.
Captain
Yes,
Stabbin.
if you're watching this film, you're that stupid. I'm sorry.
But I was also insulted by the fact they hired Michael Buffer to announce the Royal Bash, the fake-ass Royal Bash.
$24 million budget.
Wow.
And probably 500,000 of that went to Michael Buffer. It made 12. You know, we should mention this cage match is the triple-decker Cage of Doom. Everybody buried it. It was horrible. Everybody hated it. And so they decided to make a movie. And what is the final battle? It's another goddamn triple-decker cage match. This would be like in 2010 if like TNA made a movie and the final match was a reverse battle royal.
They throw powder in someone's face, DDP's, I think, or somebody's, and the dude just looks and goes, "It doesn't work." It's like, of course, because wrestling's fake and stupid.
Should we just end it there? What a soundbite. There has never been a movie I have watched in my entire life which has made me hate myself more.
Wow.
I'm ashamed that I'm even in the place at 41 years old where I would end up reviewing this movie for money. I would have thought I would have made it out of here by now. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Well, everyone, hopefully we can do this again someday. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. All right, a couple of notes before we get to NXT. First off, make sure you check out Filthy and I. We interviewed Kurt Angle. It is up for subscribers at WrestlingObserver.com. It's in the Figure 4 Daily RSS feed or off the front page of WrestlingObserver.com or the archive. And if you're a subscriber, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, it's up there as well. And, man, that guy was great. Excellent interview. Great questions from the fans in attendance as well. It's a very, very good 90 minutes, so head up there and check that out. And, hey, if you've got a show and you've got a guest and you want Tom and I to do a podcast, get a hold of me, because we had the time of our lives. Did we not, Tom?
Yeah, I had a great time. Brian, if I could put you over as well, I thought you did a fantastic job during the interview. Just started right off. Hey, Kurt, just start off with the obvious question. How are you feeling?
Well, it's an
And
important question.
it just went right from there. I wish we had more time with Kurt. I wish we had more time with other guests. There's so many people that I could think of that I want to interview now. So hopefully we get to do it again.
Yes, and excellent amateur wrestling questions. You got a lot of praise for your amateur questions, Tom. It was funny because like we were doing the interview and I was like thinking kind of the same thing. It was like, how can you interview Kurt and not be asking questions about his amateur career? But then you sort of think like, God, will the fans care, or do they just want to hear about him wearing a cowboy hat and playing the little banjo or whatever? And then, you know, it's over, and then it turns out, yeah, they actually liked the amateur wrestling questions, so it worked out great. Also, a follow-up from the last segment, yes, NXT and AEW are head-to-head. Double or Nothing is head-to-head with Battleground. Neither of them are starting earlier. So, golly, that's going to be a long frickin' night. But what can you do? Double or Nothing, Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Jon Moxley versus Swerve, Team versus Team, Anarchy in the Arena. Hurt Syndicate versus Sammy and Dustin. Will Ospreay versus Hangman, Mercedes versus Jamie. Ricochet and Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. And Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia versus FTR. I think. Is that official? Did Nigel accept it? Well, he's gonna. All right. A couple of notes from NXT. This was much better than last week's show.
Brian, you're skipping the big news.
What's that? Roman Reigns. Go for it.
How'd you know? Roman Reigns in talks to star in the live-action Street Fighter film coming up, joining a cast including Jason Momoa, Andrew Koji, Noah Centineo. He's in talks to play Akuma, according to Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder. And the last live-action Street Fighter film to be released was in 2009. This is a long-running franchise from my youth. I grew up playing Street Fighter. I loved nothing more than gathering with my friends after school, throwing fireballs at each other, charging up as Blanca, and getting after it. And I was so excited when they announced that there was a live-action Street Fighter movie coming out when I was a kid. And I just remember that I don't remember living up to the hype, but this one has a chance. So Roman Reigns set to play Akuma in the upcoming live-action Street Fighter film. Street Fighter 6, released in 2023, won Best Fighting Game.
Wow.
Yeah. Longtime Capcom franchise.
On the subject of movies and games and Jason Momoa, last weekend, Paisley wanted to go to the Minecraft movie. I took her. And I don't play Minecraft, so I was a little bit, like, I was watching the movie, and I liked the movie. It was pretty good, but I had no idea what was going on for, like, 25% of it. It's just like, what? You make these blocks magically appear? But anyway, Jason Momoa was in it. He was a star of the film. And Jack Black was also in it. And it is impossible for me to watch this movie and not see Edmund Toney. I mean, Edmund Toney was in this movie as playing the role of Jack Black. It was uncanny.
You yourself look kind of like a chicken jockey to me.
Excuse me. Don't ever use that term on national radio again. Kicked off for sure. All right, we had Sean Legacy, Javon Evans, and golly, Ashanti the Adonis in the opener. And first off, I'll say this match was awesome, okay? I got nothing against Ashanti. It is now clear why he was in the match, which is Sean Legacy was winning. And they didn't want to beat Javon, so Ashanti was in there to get pinned. But all I can say about this match is, dude, when Sean Legacy and Javon were in there together, this match was freaking outstanding. I mean, this was as good as any party match you'll ever see in AEW. It was awesome. And when Ashanti got in, it was fine. Like, you know, it was God. They got to do Sean Legacy and Javon one-on-one. They just have to. Like, put that on a pay-per-view. I'll go to Viewer's Choice. I'll pay the $59.99 to watch it. Like, they were incredible together. So, in a big shocker, Sean Legacy won. And so he's going to get a shot at the North American title. He's an ID guy. Dude, sign this guy to an NXT contract yesterday. I mean, he is great. And then we had a segment backstage with, I don't got enough time. I'll talk about this on the Bryan and Vinny show. But Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy. Yeah. They changed her name, Tom. She's an Olympic gold medalist.
Well, her name's been Tyra May Steele for a while.
I know, but the point is, she's an Olympic gold medalist. She won the Olympic gold medal as Tamira Mensah-Stock. She frickin' wears the gold medal. So it's not like she's not supposed to be who she is. She wears the gold medal under a name in which she did not win the gold medal. Why would you do this, Tom? Don't anyone tell me about IP protection and what if she goes to AEW someday. Bro, you realize if she goes to AEW, she can go to AEW as Tamira Mensa-Stock, gold medalist. Why would you change her name? Insanity. Absolute insanity. And we had a bunch of other segments, and then Trick comes out, and he raps. And I've never seen any of Trick's rap videos. Apparently he does some. And I saw some people that weren't big fans of this, but let me tell you something. I thought he did a pretty good job. And I think that Booker T and Trick need to do an album together. I think it would be up there with Be a Man from Randy Savage. And I would buy it. And he rapped about Average Joe. And, everyone's saying that he sucked, but, he was good enough that he turned the crowd, and they're chanting Average Joe as he's doing his rap. I liked it.
They are, I will say, Booker T and Trick Williams are no platinum-selling recording artist John Cena, are they?
Sean Spears beat Josh Briggs after the driver and the Virgin interfered, and then Izzy Dame booted Briggs and he got pinned. That's a powerful boot. That guy survived Noah, but he did not survive a boot by
You ever been hit with a
Izzy
woman's
Dame.
shoe?
She wasn't wearing a high heel, dude. Then we had some backstage segments, this and that. Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon faced OTM. And, of course, OTM killed them. OTM appears to be baby faces, which, again, begs the question, why is Jada Parker a heel? She's one of the most over women, if not the most over woman they've got. No one ever boos her, but she is booked as a heel, and she is in a group with two other guys who apparently are baby faces. Can anyone explain this to me? Okay, no? All right.
Well, wait a minute. Chase, you are heels?
No, that's another one. I'll get to that.
Weren't they in this match?
They were in this match, yeah. It was bizarre.
So they were heels, but
no,
Andre
they're supposed
Chase
to
is
be
a
baby
face?
faces.
I know. I think they're dumb baby faces.
Yes, they're idiots.
And Andre Chase is
his name is Kale,
and they're heels. Yeah, I hate those names. Good God,
hideous. And listen,
what was
sort
Juice
of
Robinson's old name?
C.J. Parker.
Oh,
listen, I know it's kind of sort of for reasons unknown, kind of coming back into style. But Uriah Connors with that long hair, but shaved up here, and then the mustache, not working, dude. You'll never be a main eventer with that look. It's just not going to happen. Okay, but he could be a main eventer because he's very talented. But the goofy hairdo combined with the mustache, no buys. No buys. And the man named after a salad, no buys. We got to fix this stuff. Obafemi and Miles Bourne had their final face-off, which I thought was very good. This frickin' Oba, this guy needs to be on the main roster. He is an incredible promo. He has an incredible look. He is a great worker. He has good matches with everybody. Why is he still here? And I thought Miles, in the last 3 weeks, has, totally turned it around. He is, before it was sort of, we got a low-rent Randy Orton. But now it's he's not a low-rent Randy. He loves Randy Orton. He's a tribute to Randy Orton. But he is very much Miles Bourne, and he's very unique, and I think he's done great. This was a very good segment.
Yeah, I thought both guys were great. Although, poor Obafemi gets jobbed out to Jasper Troy at the end of the segment, and then has to stand tall with the belt. I thought that kind of sucked.
We have the Don talking to himself, and he concludes, "There will be no more betrayal." Wrong answer, Tony. Lola Vice and Fallon Henley. So this match, irrelevant. No offense to the women involved. The only thing that mattered in this match was Corey Graves and Booker T double-teaming Vic on commentary. And they ate him alive. And he got so mad. He pulled a Vinny. You know when Vinny finally snaps and he just goes mad? That's what Vic did. And you can just see Corey and Booker like they cannot control their mirth. They are having the time of their life. This was 5 stars. If you watch it for commentary, it's about 2 3/4 if you watch the match.
I am always impressed by Lola Vice's ability to make a mean face while she dances uncontrollably.
Oh, speaking of mean faces, here's another one. Kalani, Jordan, and Zarya. Okay? Kalani is a heel. Zarya is a baby face. They're doing this match. Kalani's making a baby face comeback.
Yeah.
Except she's supposed to be a heel because she's sneering through her babyface comeback. I'm like, what is happening? And then the 2 baby faces are double teaming her, the heel.
Oh.
She's overcoming the odds. I was like, I'm lost, dude. I'm lost.
I said this a few weeks ago, Brian. I think Sol Ruka is a heel and Zarya is a babyface. I know you're saying no, but I think that's the way it's designed.
Well, it doesn't matter if Sol's a heel, Zarya's still a babyface. Why is Kalani, who I know is a heel, doing a babyface comeback?
Do you know that?
Yes.
Do you?
She's been a heel
because
for a
based
while.
on what I saw.
Well, yeah. And then Joe Hendry did his concert, which was quite great, and Trick got mad, and he came out, and he goes for the Trick knee. Joe clobbers him in the knee with the guitar, lays him out with his finish. And, like, you cannot watch the end of this show and not think, Joe Hendry's losing the title to Trick at the pay-per-view. And I think there's a very good chance that happens, and I'm going to tell you why. All of you thinking that TNA's getting buried, I think there's a method to this madness. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Right, take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right, well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't.
Let me in! Let me in!
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
Do you think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
in there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. So what I think is going to happen is Trick is going to beat Joe Hendry. Somebody's going to screw Joe Hendry. And then Joe can feud with that person for a while. And then Trick is going to be the TNA champion. And he is going to feud with and lose the title to Santana. That's my booking here. So there you go. I think it's actually real good for guys like Trick, you know. They're in developmental, but like they're in developmental working with like the same people and the same coaches and everything. So it's not really like doing indies, but going and doing all these TNA shows and working with, you know, the TNA agents and the TNA wrestlers in a different style, and you know, I think it's real good for him. So he's
Lance Storm,
he's
backstage.
He's grown a lot since that video they showed of him in the haunted house with Carmelo Hayes. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Don't forget, 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern today. It is After Dark Radio. Jason Offit is going to be our guest, and we actually had him on the old After Dark back when it was only a podcast, and he talked about shadow people. So we might ask him about shadow people and black-eyed children. You guys heard of black-eyed children?
No.
Well, you're looking at one right now.
Really?
Can you see my pupils? Or are my eyes just completely black? In fact...
Well, they say the eyes are the key to the soul.
They are completely black. I actually have never seen someone else with eyes as black as mine where you can't even see the pupils unless you really look hard. So maybe I'm a black-eyed child. Yeah.
Thanks.
2 Pacific, 5 Eastern today. You're on Sports Byline USA, Twitch, and YouTube. Thanks, Tom. I want an update Friday when you get cracked again.
Yeah, no problem. I liked you a lot better when Sasquatch was in.
Oh, we'll talk about him today, too. Yeah, Sasquatch today on After Dark Radio as well. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.